How y'all doing? Whew, although it's windy outside, still was able to get a little bit of sweating done while I was out there doing my little walk. And let me just make this little video for you guys. Many years ago, when I used to run, I had an accident while running, and I ended up doing some damage to my toes, and my toenail came off of my big toe. And they discovered a bunch of things, the bone spurs and all this kind of stuff. And I went to the doctor, and the doctor said that my toenail would never grow back. And so I had a coworker, and I was a baby herbalist back then. I had gone to herbalism school, knew about herbalism, but I wasn't making everything. I was making what I would consider your basic teas, like, just pretty much getting the herb, one herb, not combining things, not look at the synergy of the herbs, right? So I was doing very basic stuff back then. So I had a coworker, and my coworker said, "Hey, you should see my mom. My mom's an iridologist, and the iridologist looks in your eyes and tells you, what's going on with you with your body. They do all that from here." But her mom was also an herbalist, and because I was talking about my toenail and how I wanted my toenail to be able to grow back, I didn't want to, not have that big toe. It's on my big toe, so she invited me. She contacted her mom, and they invited me over. Real nice family. And I went over to her mom's house, and her mom had in a pocket there, and she had a book. And somewhere around here, I have her book because I kept her book. She had created a book where she had combined different things for healing. And again, I had gone to herbalist school and I knew about that, but I hadn't actually done it myself. And so she said, "Hey, let me look at your eyes." She did her iridology stuff, and she confirmed that I had an autoimmune disorder, which I knew I had, but it was not diagnosed. And then she said, "Let me look at your toe." She looked at my toe, and then she said, "Oh yeah, I can fix that." And she went and got a tincture that she had created and said, "Put this on your toe every night before you go to bed." And I did, and my toenail, of course, grew back. I can show you. Let's see. See that big toe? Look at it. See? Oh, toenail grew back. Is on there just as fine, just as good, right? And that was the moment when I said, let me do more with the herbal things that I was doing. And mind you, and this was 2010. At 2010, maybe 2011 when this happened. So at that point was when I said, let me look further into what I can do, because the first herbalist school that I went to was basically almost like an introduction to herbalism, introduction to the synergy of plants, and that's what I felt like since I've been to herbal school again. After that, I felt like that first school was a very basic school that I went to. So that is why I started my journey. Now, mind you, I've been in healthcare for over 30 years, and I had gone to doctors for various things and had different reactions to different medications. So I wasn't a fan of medications to start with. Those of you who know me know that I first went to school for pharmacy. That's what I was in school for. And then I did not like the way things were going in pharmacy. So I was doing a double major, pharmacy and psychology. So long story short, that's why I gave up the pharmacy portion of my life. When I did not like just the protocols that I was seeing of medicine and different things like that with my study I was doing back then. But anyway, so what I'm saying is that injury and meeting that person who was an urologist, which I always wanted to learn, but I never did, and who was also an herbalist who did something that the doctors said could not be done, propelled me to look further into my herbalism. And this, I was already a holistic health practitioner, right? Because I became a holistic health practitioner in 2004. So I was already a holistic health practitioner at that point. So the other point is I was continuously learning. I'm always learning. All these years later, I'm still learning. 20 plus years later, I'm always going back to school, learning something else and learning, because there's so much that we can learn. So I encourage you to seek out other people, other disciplines when you have something going on, and see if someone is able to help you. And then when they do help you, see if that you can then maybe take that information and go further with it. All right, learn about it, dive into it, absorb that information and expand your knowledge, because that is what I did after this interaction with my coworker's mom. Take care.